$100,000 used to be a luxury kitchen budget, but in 2026, it's mid-range. And I can prove it to you. I'm gonna walk you through a real kitchen remodel, show you where the money actually disappears. Blake here, contractor of 15 years, over 500 projects finished. I've walked through budgets from $10,000 bathroom refreshes to $500,000 gut jobs. $100,000 used to mean luxury everything. Now, it just gets you a solid kitchen and maybe a nice bathroom. That's the reality. After watching this, you'll know what to expect from a $100,000 reno. Labor versus materials, contractor margins, and the contingency buffer everybody forgets about. If you want the budget spreadsheet, same one I use with all my clients. Plus the complete designer starter kit, head to builtbybeckermedia.com. Includes the spreadsheet, project manager checklist, timeline template, all of it. Links in my description. All right, now let's talk about where the money goes. So picture a 150 square foot kitchen. It's not tiny, but it's not massive either, just average. The homeowners want semi-custom cabinets, quartz countertops, mid-range appliances, new flooring, electrical and plumbing upgrades, professional installation on everything, nothing crazy luxury, just quality that will work and that will last. How it goes. The first thing to happen, we tear out the old kitchen. To do that, you're paying for labor, a dumpster, protecting the rest of the house, and hauling everything away. Demo usually runs about $50 per item. Cabinets, countertops, backsplash, flooring, appliances, light fixtures, and when you actually count every cabinet door and drawer, you're easily looking at 60 to 80 items. Then there's the crew itself. Demo labor alone is usually between $500 and $1,000. The dumpster has to sit there for a couple of days. That's another few $100s. Disposal fees get added on top of that, $300 to $500 more. And before anyone even touches the new stuff, we're sealing off the rest of your house. Plastic everywhere, floor protection, dust barrier so your living room doesn't turn into a construction zone. Materials plus labor for that usually land $400 to $800. So before a single cabinet goes in, you're already at $4,000 to $6,000. And that's just assuming everything goes perfect. If we open things up and find water damage, which happens more often than people expect. Now we're talking subfloor replacement, mold issues. If half your kitchen floor is rotted, that could be a big ticket item, just like that. Number two, cabinets. They eat up a big chunk of your budget. Well, they eat a big chunk up of any kitchen budget. For a kitchen this size, mid-range, semi-custom cabinets usually land somewhere between $15,000 and $22,000. That's just materials. We're talking plywood boxes, soft close hinges, decent finishes, and some flexibility with sizes and interior layouts. And you've got installation. Labor usually runs $3,000 to $6,000 of install. And if you're running uppers to the ceiling, dealing with tricky corners or integrated appliances, that complexity pushes the labor number up pretty fast. To give you a sense of scale, a typical 150 square foot kitchen ends up with around 20 to 25 linear feet of cabinetry. Once you add together base cabinets, uppers, and any specialty pieces, base cabinets run between $300 and $500 per linear foot installed. Uppers are a little bit less, between $150 and $300. Pantry cabinets or specialty units on their own, these can run between $800 to $2,000. So let's say you're at 25 linear feet, your average is $280 a foot installed for base cabinets. That alone is around $7,000. Add uppers and a pantry cabinet, and suddenly you're sitting right at that number I mentioned, $18,000 to $22,000 for a solid semi-custom setup. You can go cheaper, of course. You can get some off-the-box cabinets for $5,000 to $10,000, but you're giving up on customization and you're definitely giving up on quality. On the other hand, fully custom cabinets can easily add an additional $10,000 to $20,000 on top of everything we just talked about. Countertops and backsplash. Quartz is a sweet spot for countertops in 2026. It looks great, it's durable, it doesn't need much maintenance. Installed, you're looking at about $60 to $100 per square foot. For a kitchen this size, around 50 square feet of countertop space is pretty typical, which puts the slab cost somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000. But that's just a starting point. Fabrication and installation is where the real money comes in. You got a sink, a cooktop, cutouts, edge profiles, backsplash integration, sealing, and the actual install labor. All that usually adds up to an additional $2,000 to maybe $4,000 to $5,000, depending on selections. Then there's a backsplash. Tile installed runs around $15 to $40 per square foot, and you've got roughly 30 square feet of backsplash. That's an additional $500 to $1,200. If you want to use countertops as the backsplash, you're probably going to be running up even higher, and now you're landing somewhere between $8,000 and $12,000 for countertops. Let's talk about appliances. Mid-range appliance packages in 2026, well, they're not cheap. This is where people start getting surprised. You're looking at a full set: refrigerator, range, cooktop, oven, dishwasher, microwave, range hood. For stainless refrigerator in the 25 to 30 cubic feet range, pricing usually falls between $2,000 and $3,500. A range or cooktop paired with a wall oven runs between $15,000 and $4,000. Dishwashers are between $800 to $1,200. Microwaves are still $400 to $800. A decent range hood can cost anywhere between $500 and all the way up to $4,000. You add all that up, and the appliances themselves could come in anywhere between $6,000 and $10,000. Then there's installation. People often forget about that. You got gas lines, you got electrical work, and water lines for the fridge and dishwasher. Proper venting for the hood, and all that could typically add an additional $2,000 to $3,000. And if you're thinking about professional grade brands like Wolf, Miele, Thermador, just know you're in a different category entirely. You can pretty much double this whole entire section. A Wolf range alone can run anywhere from $7,000 to $30,000. Early on in my business, I thought I had it all figured out. I was bringing in money, jobs were coming in, things looked good. And then tax season hit, and I realized I've basically been playing financial Jenga for 2 years. And that's the thing that no one tells you when you start a business. Making money and managing money, well, that's two different skills. That's where Relay came in for me. Relay is a business banking platform, and it's what I actually use it for. Keeping my money from becoming a mystery. It's like job costing for my entire business. My bookkeeper has a login, my assistant has a login, and I have full visibility into everything. And come tax season, it connects straight to QuickBooks. If you're a small business owner and you feel like your finances are a renovation without a plan, use the link in my description and sign up for Relay. Scan the QR code or just click the link right there in my description. And if you want your finances on top, choose Relay. It's built by Becker, approved. Flooring. Budget $3,500 to $6,000. Now, flooring, if you go with porcelain tile installed, pricing usually lands between $8 and $18 a square foot. For 150 square feet, that puts you somewhere between the $1,200 and $3,000 range. Luxury vinyl plank comes in a little cheaper, $6 to $12 a square foot installed. Just know you're looking at roughly between $1,000 and $2,000. But flooring almost never stops there. You got subfloor prep that gets added on top. If the existing subfloor isn't level or needs reinforcement, as we talked about, you're going to add an additional $2 to $5 per square foot. That can run you between $500 and $750. Then you got finishing details like transitions, baseboards, and trim work. Between materials and labor, you can add another $800 to $1,500. So for quality flooring that's actually installed properly, you're realistically in the $3,500 to $6,000 range. Now let's talk about plumbing. If you're not moving any major plumbing, this part stays on the lower end. That said, most kitchen remodels still involve some plumbing changes. Even if the layout stays the same, a basic sink install with a new drain and supply, usually $800 to $1,500. If you decide to move a sink, that's where this stuff starts to jump. Rerouting pipes can add an additional $1,500 to $3,000 pretty quickly. Hooking up the dishwasher, $400 to $700. Running water lines to a fridge, that could be a couple $100. Adding a garbage disposal is typically done on a new kitchen, $300 to $500 installed. And if you're putting in a water filtration system, which I always recommend, anywhere between $8,000 and $2,000. And if we're going to open things up and find old galvanized pipes or copper or old plastic pipes, this category can double fast. Full kitchen repiping can cost anywhere from $3,000 to $8,000. Let's talk about something that's shocking. Modern kitchens ask a lot more from their electrical systems than they used to. And this is another area where costs can add up fast. Code requires GFCI outlets on all countertop circuits, which usually ends up being 6 to 8 outlets. Installed, each one runs around $150 to $350. So that alone becomes a noticeable line item. Lighting is next. And I've talked about this on all my videos about how you need better lighting strategy in your kitchen. So with that in mind, we consider recessed and we got the under cabinet lighting. All these things can add up very quickly. If you're doing 6 to 8 cans, you're talking $900 to $2,400 range. LED strips, which usually cost between $400 to $800 installed, and then pendant lights, if you're adding some decorative, can be anywhere from $3,000 to $1,000. Of course, all the smaller pieces still add up, so let's put the whole thing at maybe an additional $2,000. I know it seems like it's already adding up. And honestly, this is the usual moment where people get bummed or burned. They leave out the contingency budget. I tell every client the same thing. Set aside 15 to 20% of your total budget for surprises. On that $100,000 project, that's 15 to 20,000 you're not planning to spend up front. And trust me, it disappears fast. We open up walls and we suddenly find rotted framing, outdated wiring, plumbing that was never up to code. And just like that, you're blown through $8,000. But that's just one thing. A lot of things can happen. Delays, materials arriving late, another package of unexpected issues. All that means extended overhead, contractors charge for that. Change orders. The contingency budget disappear quickly if you're not prepared for them. I've seen projects finish $5,000 under budget, but at least if you had the contingency, you're in a better place. So, what does $100,000 actually buy you in 2026? In a kitchen, semi-custom cabinets, nice countertops, mid-range appliances, quality flooring, proper electrical and plumbing, professional installation, and project management. This is a complete remodel that adds real value and looks great. On the other end, you have the bathroom. These could run between $60,000 and $70,000 for a primary, and a mid-range guest can be anywhere between $18,000 and $30,000. What it doesn't buy? Super high-end luxury finishes, custom everything, high-end appliances, structural changes, major layout modifications. Those push budgets upwards of $150,000 to $300,000. What I hope you take from this video is more of a realistic mindset, because nothing kills excitement faster than expectations that are too high or completely disconnected from reality. Don't forget about my toolkit in the website. We have the AI chatbot where you could input all of your options and it will spit out a budget as well as opportunities or selections that it might recommend based on all of the things that I've taught it from my experience. Just go to the link in my description and check that out. And if this breakdown helped you, hit the subscribe button. I post videos every week on real contractor knowledge for homeowners. And don't forget to drop a comment. I'm in there every day, responding and reading all of what you guys have to say. I'm Blake, and thank you again for another episode of Built by Becker. I'll catch you on the next one.